Zimbabwe releases its April inflation data today. Joining us on the line to discuss where we can expect to see that number coming in, as well as other news moving markets in the region, is Arnold Dhlamini, his stockbroker at BancABC. And in Zimbabwe, at 4% inflation in March, is one of the lowest in Southern Africa. Do you expect this to come out to continue today?
Basically, I think in terms of the market, I think the conditions are pretty much stable. I think we don't expect prices to run much, especially based on the incomes that are existing in the economy. In terms of the consumer side of things, I think we expect prices to still continue remaining flat, and we don't see this number going up very much.
Are there any concerns about food prices right now in Zimbabwe?
Well, I think basically the push in terms of the food, it will depend on how the gap will be closed for the maize crop. I think we expect the crop to be very low, and we're expecting to import. So it will depend on how much we close off that gap at. I think that will pretty much cause that sort of inflation, if anything, is to come through the food side.
And that low inflation gives support to these calls by some, like the Confederation of Zimbabwe Industries President Dr. Joseph Kanyekanye, who wants banks to bring down interest rates. Is that call justified?
I think it depends on how much capacity the banking sector has in terms of actually bringing in the liquidity. I think it's pretty much a trade-off between the size of liquidity and also the demand. If that rate is to come down, we definitely need the bank of last resort to be back on track in terms of its functions and fully funded. And if that is not resolved, I think we should still expect the rates to remain pretty much high.
All right, there appears to be a liquidity squeeze at the stock market that continued yesterday. Do you see this trend continuing still?
Yeah, I think in terms of the stock market, I think we pretty much expect it to remain flat. I think what has been expected, I think it's come and gone. I think the market has been waiting and anticipating for the financials for Delta and Econet, which are pretty much your central, I think, weight in terms of the market cap. These have published their results, and they pretty much came in as what the market expected. So we don't expect the market to run very much. If anything, we should see it sliding a bit on the downside. And I think we should also see investors now directing more money to other pretty much your value stocks, which they haven't been paying attention to.
Why does Delta appear to have hit a ceiling despite very good earnings like you mentioned?
Sorry, I didn't get that.
Why does Delta appear to have hit a ceiling, the stock of Delta, despite the earnings having been quite favorable?
I think, like I said earlier on, I think in terms of the expectations, I think all that information had been factored in, and also the market is expecting the earnings to pretty much slow down in terms of the rapid growth. The growth is expected to slightly slow down, and also you find I think in their forecast they're now benchmarking to the GDP. Also, that's a sign of that slowdown that the company is also expecting.